Hey, how's it going? Today I'm going to show you how to make your own Leatherman bits out of titanium. I'm going to take you through the entire build, tell you what you need to do it, where you can get it, and a few tips and tricks along the way. We are going to start with the holes in the notches. Why are they there? So I'm going to give you a little bit of background before I get into the build. These 3 bits right here I had made for me in a CNC shop. These 2 bits right here I made out of titanium, and this right here is a Leatherman bit. More on that later. So the notches, starting at the top here, this is a standard Leatherman bit, followed by 2 of mine, followed by 2 standard 1/4-inch drill bits. So you can see that this notch right here corresponds with this notch, and this notch right here corresponds with this notch. So they are equal distant from either end. Same thing with the Leatherman bit. This notch right here corresponds with this notch right here. The notches are 4. So you can see right here, there's a retention clip or a retainer clip, a spring clip, whatever you want to call it. That corresponds to this notch. You slide the bit in there and it holds it in place. Same thing with the Leatherman bit. This notch right here corresponds to this little spring clip right here on the Leatherman bit holder. So that's what they're there for. So why notches on both ends? It is so you can attach your bit holder to either end of the bit. And if you swing a hammer for a living, or you're always looking for one of these, I thought it was a neat idea to be able to hold a bit holder on your keychain, so you'd always have one when you needed one. My stock material here is grade 5 titanium, 1/8 inch thick. I will have a link in the description as to where you can get some, as well as in the comments. I like to use a Dremel with an aluminum oxide disc to cut titanium. It's slow going compared to, say, an angle grinder, but it doesn't overheat your steel. So I usually break it off the last little bit just to make it go faster, and then grind it flat. 0.280 inches is the final dimension I'm shooting for, so I just made sure to cut off my piece wider than that, and then I would slowly grind down to it. So here I have a screwdriver bit sitting on my belt sander, and I have my piece in my vice grip, and I'm looking at the angle I'm holding my vice grip at, because I'm just going to be freehanding this. This part here is a slow going process. I'm cooling in water as I go and using a bit holder as a gauge to make sure I don't overshoot my dimension. I again used the Dremel to cut this piece to length, which I forgot to record. My bits are 1 inch long, which is a 1/4 inch shorter than a Leatherman bit, which is 1 1/4 inches long. This is a knife beveling jig that helps you keep your plunge lines on a knife symmetrical. Worked good for keeping my plunge lines on the screwdriver end symmetrical as well. It's really easy to overheat your steel, so you can see I'm cooling it in water often. Punching and drilling titanium is difficult because it's hard, but it's doable with a standard drill bit. So you'll notice that some of the holes that I drill are in the end of a bit, and this one here is in the center. This is a double-ended bit. It's a standard slotted on one side and then a Phillips number 2 on the other. So that's what I'm doing here. I have 80 grit sandpaper on the belt sander here. I can't stress enough the need to go slow. You can easily overshoot your dimension or overheat your steel, neither of which you want to do. For this double-ended bit, I did the exact same grind on both ends, and then for the Phillips end, just took off the corners. You might notice my bit moves around a bit in the jig here. I just dealt with it, worked with it. Here I'm using the Leatherman as a tool holder as I radius the end of this bit. Here I've got 320 grit sandpaper on the belt sander, and I'm just hand sanding to get a nice polish on these bits. So at this point, these bits are almost done, and it's time for me to file in my notches. I had the benefit of a template to do this. For you, when you're making your own bit, what you're going to want to do is just line up an existing Leatherman bit with the bit that you're making, hold them together, even on the end, and then file it in. That easy. Same thing here. To find your distances from this end, you just line one up like that and file it in. Same thing on the other end. Flip it around and file it in, and that'll give you your distances. You don't even need any special calipers or anything like that to make this and to get them perfect, because you have existing products that give you your measurements. You are going to need a diamond file in order to file in these notches, as titanium is very hard. I thought I had some pretty clever design aspects in these bits and thought they might be marketable, which is why I had some prototypes made. The prototypes, which I show in the video here, are H13 steel. 2 of them had a black oxide coating. I couldn't get the price point right to where I felt people would pay, so nothing became of these. But I'm curious, what do you think people would pay for bits like these? Leave me a comment below. Hope this video did something for you, and thanks for watching.